Hi everybody and welcome to another episode. Today I'm going to be talking about, how should I say now, zombie strategy. Now, I think everybody has a pretty good idea what a zombie is, and we've seen it on the films, the movies, everything. Half alive, half dead person who is mindlessly doing things on a route of destruction, regardless of the consequences to themselves and the people around them. And in some ways, we can see this constantly every day. We see people doing things mindlessly and not really taking in the consequences of their actions. But yet afterwards, there seems to be something like complaining of why has nothing ever changed, not realizing that they themselves had the power in their own hands and means if they stopped to consider what they were doing and decided that this strategy of what I'm doing is not exactly working, I'm not benefiting from it, so why should I continue? Those things, for some people, or for a majority of people, they have not even considered those points alone. So it's of no surprise that in many ways we are where we are, and that there are some brave people who are deciding, you know what, let's take a risk, let's take a gamble on myself, doing something that could possibly add some value to some people's lives and change the fabric of reality, on show people that there is life after being a mindless zombie. Now, for these things to take place, again, courage is required, a true living strategy is required, but we will get to those things in a while. So that's some things I would just like to just quickly lay the ground there. So the first thing I'd like to consider is, what is a zombie strategy? Now, a zombie strategy is quite simply, you're waking up every day doing the same thing day in, day out, without any real thought, without any real joy, any passion. You are not finding any reward in what you're doing, and you yourself are not being fully compensated for the work that you are doing. So everything seems to be dead. You're just doing it for the sake of doing it. Now, there's implications in that what I've just said, and this is a general broad thing, but you will see it around you every single day if you stop and look. How people act, how people say things, the way they dress. Sometimes it's a very mindless way that people are living their life. And when they are questioned about it, you yourself are made out to be the person who is out of step with everybody else, not realizing that you've moved from the part of being the mindless zombie into somebody who has personality, individuality, and you value your own thoughts and opinions. In itself, another challenging issue there. So it's important to understand what is a zombie strategy. Something that is mindless, that is just constantly repeatable, and that kills and dumbs down the individual or society into just following what is meant to be, and not understanding that there's life outside the collective at times. So I'm not saying that you can't work together. No, I'm saying you can work together, but you can still have your own individual outlet in getting things done. So that's that. So point 2 is this: they expect you to be everything to be the same. Every day you are expected to have the same kind of regiment. You can't do anything great without it being cleared by maybe a group of people. You can't do anything because everything must be controlled. There's a controlling factor. As you see these zombie films and everything, right? There's always seems to be a controlling factor somewhere in the background directing these zombies. They are on autopilot for the most part, right? And when somebody sees you outside of that collective, that is a problem for a majority of people, because they feel very uncomfortable, because they realize where you are, they should be themselves. And so, not to feel out of place, they will want to drag you back into the collective, or, if you've been fortunate enough never to be in the collective, right, they are definitely wanting to bring you back and take you into the collective and show you the errors of your ways. And this is a thing that a lot of people are wanting to do to a lot of people when they see these free-thinking individuals who are creating things or making great gains and are supporting themselves financially, whether financially or intellectually or a combination of both. They are a problem because they are not meant to be doing that, and there's nobody who's controlling them, which is even worse. So, it is a very unhealthy thing for many people when they see somebody who is dared to step outside the box of things. The third point, self-correction. And somewhere I just touched on this part. Knowing that there are possible steps that an individual could take to correct their maybe self-imposed zombified state, or if they were born into that zombified state and they saw that there's a chink of light, and that by going through that chink of light they could be free and start to make and think for themselves, most people will start to shy away from that, because it's going to be a one of taking responsibility. They're going to have to be making some errors. In other words, you're going to be making mistakes, failing, and for that to happen, you could possibly be reprimanded. And a lot of people do not want that, or frightened of those things. Well, the funny thing is, life is all about that. You need to make those mistakes to grow, to develop, to understand and appreciate those sweet moments in life when you do have those successes, because you can look back and say, you know what? Those mistakes that I made has really helped me and benefited me. So when you start to do that, you are breaking that zombie state. And again, unfortunately, there's going to be many people around you who will be trying to reinforce the idea of this zombie state. And this is where the self-correction needs to be broken. And you've just got to let go and just go with the flow. Because by choosing to live a life that is going to be alive, and you're creating a living strategy, there will be some risk and there will be some mistakes that will be made along the way. It's only part and parcel of the deal that you'll be making. But the price will be worth it, because if you can survive and get out of the zombie state and take the cure, then it will be truly worth it. You may not believe it at first, because the pain that you may have to go through to get out of that zombie state of mind and start to develop that living strategy as opposed to the zombie strategy, it's going to be, for some people, quite painful. But the pain will be worth it, believe me. It will be worth it. The fourth point, the cure. Again, I've alluded to it already. Is that you start to create a living strategy of how you want your life to be. And the thing about it, when you create a living strategy, you're creating a strategy that you have not done before. You are conceptualizing something that's going to be cast out into the future. How far into the future, that's you're going to have to decide yourself. But it's going to be cast out into the future of something that you are hoping will come together if these combinations gel together. There's no guarantee that it will actually work, but it's a concept that you believe is possible. So there's going to be risk involved. Your reputation is going to be involved. You are going to make some mistakes along the way. That all these things are very normal. But you're going to have to take that chance to do so. And by doing so, you will start to develop muscle strength. You will start to exercise your mind, your intellect in ways that you never thought possible. You will start to come up with solutions to problems that you are facing. You will start to anticipate possible problems that could come up along the way as you are starting to execute your living strategy. Now, I emphasize your living strategy, not somebody else's living strategy or somebody else's zombie strategy, which you don't want to go near, or if you've been in it, you want to stay out of it because you don't want to go into it twice in a row. So it's going to be important for you to find this and take your time in developing this. And once you start to understand it and start to crystallize it in your mind, you'll start to now actualize it in your day-to-day life. And you will break some things down because some things are just too big to deal with straight away because you haven't necessarily got the muscle or the competence to go and take it on head on. So you'll break it down until you have the strength, the competence, the intellect, or the skills necessary to deal with it. So the cure is, in some ways, pretty simple. You create a living strategy. So, what is better? So, to conclude in some ways, you have got to consider, are you satisfied in living a zombie strategy where you are just part of something that is half alive, half dead? Or are you prepared to take on board a living strategy, which, by the way, is already built into you? You know, that is the funny thing about it. You already know what you need to be doing. And if there was a perfect scenario where you could have everything that you need, you would be doing it. And it's there waiting for you. All you need to do is start to put in place various things and to understand that when you have a living strategy, you are equally compensated for what you are doing. And people will gladly pay you for what you are worth. So no need to be embarrassed about whatever you may be doing or whatever you may be creating. You know, because people, there will be always people of a like mind who will be willing to support you and encourage you along the way. So I would encourage you, consider your situation. Do you want to have a zombie strategy, or do you want to have a living strategy where you are engaging everything of who you are and creating something that you can look back and maybe family and generations can say, yep, he or she did that. And what a way they did it. So, again, if this video has been of help to you, please like it, subscribe to the channel. If you need some help, again, go to our website, the links are down below. You find all the information there. Or if you already know what you want, contact us. Again, there's links down there. We can book with us directly. So, everything you need to transform your life, it's there, ready, built into you. So, again, thank you for taking time to listen to this. Again, press that like, subscribe to this channel, tell your friends, and again, if you need help, contact us. Until next time, take care now. Bye bye.